Hey, yo, I still think atheism's stupid.
Oh, hey, it's this guy again. Yeah, from the Atheist Mega collab I did not too long ago. If you didn't know, me and several other Athe Blabs did a bunch of clips each and shared them among ourselves to make several unique collab videos. And one of mine was this guy, which was the first of his Atheism is Stupid series of videos. And at the time I promised myself that after that I would cover the rest eventually. Because who doesn't love a bunch of really brainless reasons that you're actually the dumbass? Starting at number 2.
You take a human being, cut the telomeres off the genome, you have an immortal, okay?
Not okay. The complete opposite of okay. Aside from the fact that how the fuck would you even do that? It would not result in fucking immortality. It would either result in cell death because the body would see it as broken, because, you know, it would be, or it could result in fucking cancer because, as I understand it, telomeres prevent uncontrolled cell replication. You know, that thing that cancer is. What an utterly insane start. My God, keep it up.
All they have to do after that is evolve one or maybe two powers, and that's a god, traditionally as humans believed.
You know, just evolve some powers, as you do. The fuck? That's not how evolution works. It's certainly not something that you just do. And what exactly are powers anyway? Because the vast majority of powers, as we understand them, would be supernatural nonsense that breaks physics. And frankly, if you can break physics, being immortal is irrelevant. Because as you said, they would still be considered as gods, just not necessarily ones that live forever. Or they could anyway, because they could break fucking physics.
You know, humanity has never believed in super powerful gods except for in the Judeo-Christian religion.
Well, that's just not fucking true. There have been multiple other omnipotent gods. What the fuck are you talking about? And even if they hadn't done that, you know that omnipotent gods are always the absolute least believable kinds, right? Because that just ends up adding a bunch of contradictory nonsense to them that makes them sound utterly ludicrous. Not that being utterly ludicrous is a thing that you are unfamiliar with being. Holy shit.
So think about that. Like, atheism fails very reasonably to evolution.
Think. Don't tell people to do something that you are obviously incapable of, since you clearly have no idea what evolution is, let alone the purpose of various structures in the human body, and how that could possibly apply to God. And there are 9 more of these, god damn it.
Hey, y'all, it's old Jesse. I still think atheism is stupid, you know, and to illustrate the point, you know, part of the argument is
that you am the best at doing a talking real good? Yes, I can see that, buddy. Obviously, when you turn the camera on, you have really sat down and thought about what you wanted to say instead of not ever doing that. No.
that the universe is finite, right? You have to prove a finite universe in order to prove atheism.
No, you don't. What are you talking about? The finitude or otherwise has literally nothing to do with atheism. Either or, and even somehow neither, of these being the state that we exist in has anything to do with whether or not a god exists. Either way, because a god could real and have any kind of universe be the case. You are not very good at this, are you?
Okay, well, redshift basically states that the universe constantly expands. That's infinite.
So apart from the fact that redshift does not do that, it only shows an expansion. It doesn't say whether or not that expansion may someday halt or even start receding. But even if not, again, God or no, universe, infinite or not, these are unrelated premises, you thick fuck.
Okay, what's the problem? You can't disprove it.
The problem is you have literally no idea what you're talking about. Perhaps learn.
Hey, yo, it's old Jesse. I still think atheism is stupid. I mean, you know, I have been asked for proof of a god.
I have no idea why anyone would ask you for proof of a god when I'm not convinced you could give us proof that you have a brain, even if you cut your fucking head open and poured out the contents. I would be expecting some kind of ground beef or perhaps a luncheon meat.
Well, Jews exist.
Oh shit, he's got us. I completely forgot that a group of people exists. That's it. God must be real because that. Pack it all in, boys. Atheism has had a good run, but Jews exist. And just like the tides, you can't explain that.
They've been through thousands of genocides, and they still exist.
Now, I could be wrong, but thousands of genocides sounds like a slight exaggeration, but fine. They have been through the ringer, so to speak, and even if biblical tales about their hardship are 100% accurate on that part, that doesn't mean that the other claims of the book, or elsewise, about the existence of God are magically true. If anything, these suggest that if they have a real God, he's somehow useless or capricious, because he allowed all that shit to happen. That is not the kind of God that I would want on my team. Fuck me.
Okay. And there's history to back it up. And Bible science actually works. How about that?
Bible science? What did I tell you about using oxymorons in this classroom? Nothing, because you were never invited to be here because you obviously never made it out of kindergarten.
Hey, y'all, I still think atheism's stupid. You got communist China not doing too great of a job. North Korea starving their own folks. The old communist Russia killed billions of their own folks.
I mean, I was letting this play out for the old, see, atheism and killed people a bit. Which is obviously a terrible argument on the face of it. Show me even one person who's killed anyone in the name of atheism and not the ideology that they happen to have that is also atheistic. Versus people doing that literally in the name of God. But billions of people. The population of the fucking planet is less than 10 billion. And you think that communist Russia killed potentially half the planet, maybe even more? Wow, your competence is a fucking negative value at this point.
And then you get back toward when, World War II and Germany was going atheists and they committed the Holocaust.
Becoming atheist by persecuting atheists and having got mit uns on their uniforms, and the Nazi Party literally being founded on so-called positive Christianity. You are like a fucking bingo card for bad arguments against atheism, aren't you?
Okay? Not to mention how angry atheists get when you tell them they're wrong. So I don't really think it's a good argument to say atheism is peaceful.
Atheists don't get angry when you say they're wrong. They get angry when you make shit up about them or start making arguments so bad that it breaks their fucking non-existent souls. And I don't know of anyone who says atheism is peaceful as an argument. Atheism has nothing to do with whether or not someone is or isn't violent. And I also don't know where that came from in your points. Like, if you're going to argue against something, even if it's a straw man, you open with that point. You don't nod toward it on your way out of the door after saying a bunch of stupid, irrelevant shit. Damn it.
Hey, yo, Soul Jesse. I still think atheism's stupid. Simply because no self-respecting scientist or atheist has been able to concisely explain to me.
I'm sorry, but you can't deny a man prattling on and on and on without seeming to ever get anywhere. But when he does eventually get there, go straight to fucking moon logic. Him complaining about other people's inability to be concise. That is some ironic shit right there. God damn it.
Why a multitude of beneficial evolutions can't yield to God.
What kind of concise were you looking for? I don't think anyone ever said anything more complicated than, because that's fucking stupid, you moron. Because even an answer as simple as that probably went right over your head, didn't it?
That right there ought to tell you what's wrong, because they just get mad and start saying I'm stupid and this and that and the other. And that's fine. But the reality is that's not proof.
I was just being a dick, but apparently I'm not the only one. No, it's not proof. It is, however, a statement of fact that you don't understand that evolution doesn't fucking apply to frigging gods. They are gods. That's not something they should do or should need to do. And also, evolution doesn't, and more than likely never will, make anything even approaching a god, mostly because it couldn't, because gods aren't fucking real.
Hey, y'all, atheism is stupid, okay?
Well, we are about halfway through and you've yet to demonstrate that. Yourself, on the other hand, also this is technically number 6A, or 5A by our count at least, and I think it's just fun that he felt the need to add an addendum to one of his terrible fucking videos. Let's see how much worse he makes it.
In the previous video, I'm getting complaints about, how do you know gods can evolve power, right? Well, that's simple. Look at the creatures on this world.
What? I'm sorry, you think biological organisms and supernatural gods are the same things? Man, I would love to know what philosophy you actually ascribe to, or at least think you ascribe to, because this shit is fucking incoherent. Honestly, it is car crash fascinating, just listening to you. Astounding.
Humans have cognition, monkeys have strength, dolphins have echolocation, frogs have poison skin, eels can manipulate electricity, birds can fly and manipulate wind. The list goes on and on.
I don't even, again, what? Like humans and monkeys. While some monkeys might be stronger than your average human, humans still have strength. And shit, if you add in tech, they can fly too. And, well, you could conceivably give them some kind of echolocation while they carry a car battery and stick them in a dry diving suit covered in gecko urine while you're at it. Also, birds don't fucking manipulate the wind. If anything, they simply know how to manipulate themselves to best take advantage of however it currently is. How is one man so wrong so consistently?
At the bacterial level, it gets even crazier. Who's to say that can't happen? If you believe in evolution, it already does.
Who's to say what can happen? People becoming bacteria? I genuinely have no idea what he's actually trying to say at this point, although I'm fairly certain if there were subtitles on this video, they would read, duh.
Hey y'all, it's old Jesse again. Yep, atheism is still stupid. Why? Because the Big Bang fails on redshift.
Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? It's not like the redshifting of the universe is something that fucking demonstrates the goddamn Big Bang. But what the fuck do I know? Captain Dipshit here has all the answers.
Why does it fail on redshift? Well, explosions, the particles are not equal distance from each other when they separate. Some separate at different speeds and different rotations.
Of course, comparing the Big Bang to an explosion, something that if he had actually asked any science about anything, they would have immediately corrected as not what the fucking Big Bang is. Almost like his claims to have been asking anyone questions about anything is obviously horseshit.
Okay, the problem is redshift is consistent. And not only is it consistent, it's consistent in all directions from our solar system. Okay, that means we're at the center point of the explosion.
The Big Bang essentially happened everywhere. Again, it's not an explosion, it's an expansion. If you were inside a balloon that is currently being inflated, it doesn't matter where inside the balloon you are. Everything inside the balloon looks like it's moving away from everything else as it gets bigger. So of course, in a universe doing the same thing, everything in all directions is going to appear to be moving away from you. That's what redshifting is, more or less. That doesn't mean that you are the center of the fucking universe, you tool.
Or a god created and threw the stars out there.
Either you're a dumbass or you're right about the universe and science doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You see, if you're going to do a false dichotomy, at least make one of the possibilities make any sense for fuck's sake.
Hey y'all, atheism is stupid. Okay, consider faith for a second. All right? It's often considered to be an ignorant thing by atheists. However, all faith is belief in written works and in teachings that you were taught.
No, I think you'll find when it comes to religious shit, faith is believing things despite the fact that there's not a goddamn shred of solid evidence for it.
Okay? That's not any different from going to school, going to college, scientific journals, or really anything else that's written in the scientific community.
Again, no, that is not the same, whereas, again, the religious claims of book those worldwide are only accepted because people want them to be real for some fucking reason. The ideas in science textbooks are understood and accepted because they have the thing that you don't understand. Evidence, empirical data, facts and tests and experiments, and everything that cannot be done to the religious claims that you hold on faith. Or, can be done on the things that people hold on faith, yet proving them wrong, but you believe them fucking anyway because faith is a hell of a drug. And not one of the fun ones, or one of the ones that could cure fucking cancer, because those, mostly, come from science.
You weren't there, you didn't see it happen, yet you have faith that it's true. Just like God believers. It's not different, it's exactly the same.
You don't have to be there to test things, you moron. Just because you're too dumb to understand the difference doesn't mean there isn't one, and a big one at that.
Atheism is stupid. Even scientific atheism is stupid. Okay? And the reason why is no human is capable of understanding the sum total of human knowledge.
Well, first off, you don't actually know that. Given an ideal brain and an endless ream of information, and possibly being in a jar, we don't know what the limits of human cognition could be. But sure, in a practical sense, no one can. So fucking what? And hell, you know what would be a miracle at this point? If you could understand fucking any of it.
Okay? Now think about that. All the things that you can learn and you can know, but you only know a small part. Your experiences aren't every experience. Your knowledge is not all knowledge. There's a pretty good chance you're missing something.
Oh, it's the frickin' circle thought experiment, isn't it? All knowledge is in a big circle. Your knowledge, by definition, has to be in a smaller one. Couldn't God be there in the big one somewhere? Well, that ignores that while hard evidence for a God could conceivably be out there somewhere, you know what else can? Hard evidence that no God exists. That's why it's a worthless fucking idea.
So, atheism has knowledge gaps. And because it has knowledge gaps, it should not be trusted to say there is no God.
Jesse telling other people they have knowledge gaps is the ironic statement of the goddamn century. Not gonna lie. But mate, God of the Gaps fallacies are a fallacy for a reason. Maybe ask someone why.
Hey yo, atheism is stupid. The reason why is morality is based on religion.
No, it isn't. Morality existed way before any modern religion did because it's an evolutionary construct and something that even animals who have seemingly no religion appear to have a basic grasp on. Morality is just the word humans coined to describe it. It's like saying that Newton invented fucking gravity.
Okay, morality is what initially set up the legal code. Okay, you can remove the religion from the legal code, sure, and you can adopt atheism. But the problem is, individual atheists throw out different parts of morality and legal code that they won't follow. Okay?
Literally every frickin' human does that to one degree or another. Almost like it's subjective, almost like it doesn't come from fucking anywhere.
What that does, that creates disunity. And you can't have a country that stands in a society that functions with disunity and anarchy.
That's why laws are enforced, you goddamned clown. And it's enforced by humans. The very same humans who enforce their religious laws. Without the humans, human morality means literally nothing. No matter where it pretends to be from. Because God sure as shit ain't doing any of it.
Hey y'all, it's old Jesse. Atheism is stupid. Okay? Do you believe in evidence?
More than you fucking do.
Okay. Well, there's evidence of many different gods based on religious paraphernalia and miracles done that have been written throughout human history.
Written as in not proven, as in bad evidence. Awesome. Also, many, well, only one of them gets to be real, if any. Feels like the stronger bet is that none of them are.
If your argument is because something bad happened or I see bad things, that's only evidence for bad things. Where is your evidence that there is no God?
Well, if we're talking about a loving God, I would have to pick this set of videos and the dumbass making them. No loving God, or hell, even an all-hating God, could possibly be able to inflict this level of cruelty on the world.